In the end, the United States government got what it wanted. The details didn't matter. The drug case was stitched together against me in the same way that all the evidence was put together against me over a decade. Once it was decided that I was the problem, that I was the one who had to go by all means, if subterfuge, murder, and lies were required, so be it. All I sought was independence for Panama. I thought Panama had the right to its own sovereignty and the right to break free of the chains of colonialism. Those can be empty words, but I think that in Panama, they are appropriate. The same accusations of drug trafficking surfaced against other Panamanian leaders who dared challenge the United States in the battle for Panamanian sovereignty. General José Antonio Ramón, during his term of office from 1952 to 1955, was accused of drug trafficking prior to his assassination by an American sniper. Similarly, the Nixon administration accused Torrijos of drug trafficking and convened a grand jury to hear evidence against his brother Moises. The charges against all of us were lies. The lies against Ramón ended with his murder. Those against Torrijos disappeared with the approval of the Canal Treaties. In the United States, chances are, if you saw me, it was in the most unflattering circumstances. Close to the invasion and during the trial, the video would show me raising something that looked like a sword. The image said I was angry, aggressive, belligerent. Repeat it 1,000 times over and over on American television, in New York and Washington, and you win the psychological war. But the image was a fraud, softening the American people to the idea of attacking a dangerous enemy, supposedly poised to fight. I could not find a way to explain the images or the frauds to the American people. I did not understand America. I had no way to explain these injustices in the living rooms and halls of power in New York, Washington, and Miami. Perhaps Americans thought we were arming our soldiers with machetes to fight the United States. Here I sit, waiting and hoping for my first encounter with the system of fair play. I wait here in the faith that human fair play will overcome politics and that people will come to understand the colossal injustice of what has happened. It is the great tragedy of a great nation that decided it could control the rules of the game and destroy lives because it was the establishment and there was no other. The United States set out under George Bush to create a new world order, which was nothing more than a new subterfuge for becoming an international policeman. Nevertheless, I survive, struck down and persecuted, but neither despairing nor defeated. The United States has imprisoned neither my soul, nor my ideals, nor my faith, which exist in a flight of eternal liberty. For what seems to be God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and what seems to be God's weakness is stronger than human strength. Now remember what you were, my brothers, when God called you. From the human point of view, few of you were wise or powerful or of high social standing. God purposely chose what the world considers nonsense in order to shame the wise, and he chose what the world considers weak in order to shame the powerful. He chose what the world looks down on and despises and thinks is nothing in order to destroy what the world thinks is important. This means that no one can boast in God's presence. I assume my responsibility as head of government and commander-in-chief of the Panamanian Defense Forces during the treacherous attack by the United States on my country. No one can avoid the judgment of history. I only ask to be judged on the same scale as the treachery and infamy of my enemies, foreign and domestic. So here I am, a traveler, making my way down the long road, certain that the final chapter of the Noriega story is yet to be written.